You want to give it to the chickens? Say basil.
Basil.
Good job. Let's go give it to the chickens and see what they do.
This one, that's fruit.
What?
No.
Don't drop it. Alright, so I am going to harvest some of these herbs. It rained today, and I'm not really sure why, but the rain kind of made all the herbs wilt over. I don't really know why. So they've been growing for a while. I haven't actually harvested any of them. So that's what I'm going to do right now. We got basil, bee balm, lemon balm, oregano, thyme, and a side little rosemary plant growing in this garden. So there's my basil plant. It just fell over in the rain. It is a really big plant. You can see right here. It's a really big plant. It's also pretty dirty. We'll wash it. But over here, looks like it fell down too. It's just overgrown. Over here is my lemon balm. This grows prolifically. I am not 100% sure why these essential oil companies charge so much for Melissa, which is like the lemon balm essential oil, because this stuff grows so easily. This is a plant from this year, and it has just taken off. I think I planted it like in, I don't know, June maybe is when I planted it. It's now August, and you can see it's everywhere. My chickens really like it. I like it. It tastes good. It actually just tastes like lemon. So we're gonna harvest some of that. We're gonna harvest our poor little basil plant there that's just fallen over and probably needs to be pruned back so it can grow bushier rather than grow tall. I wouldn't normally cut it this long, but it was really sagging over. It's just really heavy. It's very dirty, so I will have to wash it, which is not a problem. We'll just wash it. But I wouldn't normally take off that much. It just looked like that much needed to come off, basically. There's that. A lot of little leaves falling off. Ducks will like those. When in doubt, basil is really, really good for chickens. So when in doubt, you can always just feed your basil to your chickens. I'm going to harvest this both for them and us, but like these leaves, for example, the chickens or the ducks can have these. The basil is really good for like keeping away pests. You know, you could put basil in your garden to keep away pests. It works the same thing for your chickens. So you can put it in the coop, you can put it in the nesting box. It also, fresh basil also has a lot of nutritional benefits. So does the dry basil. But I like it for that. Okay, well, hopefully that'll encourage this basil plant to grow a little bit bushier rather than this is our lemon balm. And to cut this, basically all you do is cut it like any other herb. Like this is a nice tall shoot, so I will go ahead and trim off that. And as soon as you cut it, you can smell the lemon. Now when you dry this, you can dry it by hanging it upside down like this, or you can just take the leaves off and put them in a dehydrator. I tend to go for this method once it's washed, because it's easier and it's faster. It's not really faster than a dehydrator, but it's simpler. Let's go that way. It's simpler. Less hassle than having to get out the dehydrator. We had one that was over there. Larry ran over it with the lawnmower earlier this year, so I think he killed it. We'll still have to see next year, but they go through the winter very well. I mean, I don't know about up north, but we're in zone 7, so it overwinters really, really well. It came back every year, and then he may have killed it this year. I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to see. But this is our 3rd or 4th time growing this, and they always grow very well. They're always very healthy, and the first year you get a lot. And when you're cutting it, you don't necessarily, the basil plant I cut down pretty far. Like I said, I don't normally do that, but I cut it down pretty far because it just looked like that particular branch needed it. But when you cut these, you don't want to cut it at the base, right? Unless you really have to. If you're looking to have a bushier plant, you just prune the tops. And like really, like over the summer as it grew, I should have pruned the top so it's a bushier plant. I just didn't have time. But basically, I just take off 4 inches or so, 5 inches. If I want more, I can take more, but the idea is you take off just enough that the plant grows back. And that's how Larry killed my other lemon balm, is he just drove over it with a lawnmower, and it basically cut off most of the plant. So I think almost all the plant, the roots are still there, and I know the roots are still probably okay, but by the time it started to grow back, you know, all the Bermuda grass started to grow on top of it. So over the winter, it might, you know, grow back in early next spring, and then I can make sure I just really watch it this time and don't let them run over it. But we'll just have to see. But this one will keep growing for us too. All right, so there's all of our lemon balm / Melissa. Lemon balm is like an essential oil. It's going to cost you like, I don't know, like $150 for like one of those little bottles. You can just grow it in your backyard. That's just how I do it. And I'm sure that there's essential oil people who are going to say it's not the same thing, or XYZ is more concentrated. That's fine. I mean, if you want to go off and buy it in this essential oil in the bottle, like Mazel Tov, go for it. This is just what I do. Now, I suppose if you didn't want to deal with washing it, one, you could harvest it sooner than I have, or two, you could put like straw underneath them so that it doesn't touch the dirt. This is a lot to wash, so I'm going to go ahead and just wash this today. Another day I can go out here and grab some oregano and the bee balm. Well, maybe we'll do it tomorrow, but for today this is just what I'm going to do. So for washing this, you can do a few different things. You can stand there with your hands in a hose or in your water or in your sink in your kitchen and just sit there and scrub each leaf. I've done that. It takes a lot of time to do that. What I'm going to do is I put all of those. I'll put the lemon balm at least in this bucket. It's just a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to fill this with water, and then like a washing machine, basically just cover it with the top here, seal the entire thing because this is one of those tops that seals tightly, and then just shake it off. And then we'll see if hopefully that gets the dirt off. Now, I was tempted to put all of the herbs in this, but I don't think it's a good idea, because what you really want to do is get the water moving around the herbs. If it's packed full with herbs, that's not going to happen. It's going to sort of defeat the point of this. So that's why I just put in like a little bit at a time. So already I can see that almost all the dirt is off of this, but I'm still going to shake it all up and then pull it out. We'll dry it overnight. And you can find these tops just at any, like I got this at Walmart, I think. Alright. We use these tops in our store to keep bugs out of any stuff. Like, just make sure that it is totally sanitary and clean. So I know that they work really, really well because obviously our products are really fresh. So, like I expected, it completely worked. There is some dirt in here. So in an ideal world, probably what I would do is I would put the colander inside of this and then do exactly what I just did, and then pull everything out and let it drain through the colander. Like I said, I can't find my colander, so. Is it fun? I guess it's good for 5-year-olds too. So, I'll drain this. I'll repeat it with the basil. And then we're just going to hang this up upside down to dry. Now this stuff is really, really healthy for chickens, so I think I'm going to take this piece and give it to my chickens right now. And you can see all the dirt that's in there. That's all dirt that came off of the lemon balm. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do the basil. This entire plant was full of dirt, and now there's really no dirt on it. Let's shake it up. This is really, really, really heavy, as you can probably imagine, so I probably wouldn't try and pick it up and shake it on the ground like this. It'll do probably exactly the same thing. See how clean they are now? Alright, say basil.
Basil.
Good job. You want to give some of this to the chickens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Hold this, and we'll follow you, okay? You want to give it to the chickens? Say basil.
Basil.
Good job. Let's go give it to the chickens and see what they do.
This one, that's root.
What?
No.
Don't drop it. Here come ducks.